Good morning, everyone. This is February the 24th, Wednesday. We are here in conference room 229 and virtually for a 9:15 hearing jointly with the Committee on Commerce and Consumer Protection and Health. Commerce, Consumer Protection and Judiciary Committee. Health gave us the measures. We're looking at some of them. So I'll call the committee for CPN to order. Chair Rhodes, is that sufficient for your committee, or you want to gavel us in on your side as well?
No, it's fine. We're here.
Okay, we're here. All right. The first item on our joint agenda on the 9:15 agenda is Senate Bill 970 relating to health. This authorizes the establishment of a physician-patient relationship via telehealth if the physician is licensed to practice medicine in the state of Hawaii. The chairs have conferred and recommend that we pass this measure with amendments that we received from several of the supporters of this measure. Page 2, line 20, a patient or physician licensed in the state may use telehealth for any allowable purpose in accordance with the law, including consultation with a medical provider licensed in another state. There are no tech amendments, and if that passes muster with all of the members here, that will be the recommendation to pass Senate Bill 970 relating to telehealth with an SD2. Chair votes aye.
Senator Chang.
Aye.
Senator Lucia.
Excused.
Nishihara goes aye. Senator Revere.
Aye.
Senator San Ventura.
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Motion is adopted.
Thank you, members.
For JDC members, same recommendation. Any questions or concerns? If not, Vice Chair.
Members, same recommendation. Chair Rhodes.
Aye.
Vice Chair goes aye. Senator Ocasio.
Aye.
Senator Gabbard.
Aye.
Senator Kim.
Aye.
Senator Lee.
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Chair, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Chair Baker, before we start on the next one, I think it's 11:55, we realized yesterday that the Judiciary Committee passed out SB 157 a few days ago, I guess, which allows any 18-year-old to solemnize. So it goes farther than what this bill does, but I'll leave it to your discretion whether we need to move them both. But the 157 accomplishes the same and more, so I don't know whether you want to move them both.
Well, the only thing that we were going to do with this one was to change the definition to just ensure that the civil celebrant meant somebody that was 18 years of age or older. But if you've got a bill that's already going through that does that, then we can just defer this one. I don't think we need two of them.
I don't think we need two of them, so yeah, that's what I would suggest.
Okay. Members, we're going to defer Senate Bill 1155 indefinitely and go with Chair Rose's bill. Chair realizes she was neglectful in not recognizing the members who are here with the Committee on Commerce and Consumer Protection, and then allow Chair Rose to do the same. And also note that we are being live streamed. You can catch all of this wonderful action on the legislature's YouTube page, and all of the bills and the decision-making and amendments will be posted on the legislature's website, www.capitol.hawaii.gov. So this morning on video, I see Vice Chair of Consumer Protection, Senator Chang. I see Member Ms. Alucha. And in the room here, we have Senator San Buenaventura, Senator Gil Revere, and Senator Clarence Nishihara. So we have our quorum. Thank you. And and our stalwart member who really helps all of the committee get together And poor thing, he goes to all the committees. Senator Kurt Favela. Thank you, Kurt, for being with us this morning. Chair Rhodes, did you want to introduce your members?
Sure, we're all here. Vice Chair Keokalole, Senator Ocasio, Senator Lee, Senator Gabbard, Senator Kim, and who am I forgetting? Senator Favela. I think that's it.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Full house.
Full house, very good. Let's see. So we've dispensed with Senate Bill 970. We are going to defer Senate Bill 1155 indefinitely. I believe, Chair Rhodes, the next item on our joint agenda is Senate Bill 474, Senate Draft Run 1, relating to real property transactions. Requires that mandatory seller disclosures in real estate transactions include identification of residential real properties lying within the sea level rise exposure. The Senate Draft 1 would be effective 5/1/2022. It came to us from Waterland, and Keith Agaron was the introducer. Chair is recommending that we pass this measure unamended. Any concerns or comments from any of the members? If not,
It's unanimous.
Did I hear somebody? No, okay. Senate Bill 474, Senate Draft 1, to pass unamended. For CPN, Chair votes aye.
Senator Chang,
Aye.
Senator Misalucha,
Aye.
Nishiargo's aye, Senator Revere,
Aye.
Senator San Ventura,
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion's adopted.
Thank you, members. Chair
For
Rhodes?
for JDC members on SB 474, SD1, same recommendation, unamended. Questions or concerns? If not, Vice Chair.
Noting the presence of all members of the Judiciary Committee, are there any members with reservation? Are there any members in opposition? Seeing none, Chair, all members vote aye. Recommendation adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda is Senate Bill 969, Senate Draft 1, relating to animal fur products. This would prohibit the manufacture for sale, offer for sale, display for sale, sale, trade, or distribution of certain animal fur products in the state. It came to us from AEN. The recommendation that I would make to CPN members is that we pass with tech amendments as well as amendments to ban the sale of imported fur products such as mink or other non-native animals to Hawaii. Rather than establish a new chapter concerning fur products, our drafters recommend, and we will recommend to the committees to amend the bill by deleting its contents and placing it in a new section in the HRS. Beginning July 1, 2021, it shall be unlawful to manufacture for sale, import, export, trade, or distribute certain animal fur products in the state, and further prohibit the sale of any fur products in the state after December 1, 2021. This grace period is to allow retailers to get rid of their current inventories. We will keep in provisions, I'm recommending that we keep in provisions regarding exemptions for used fur products by private party, products used in practice of a religion, cultural, tribal, or spiritual purpose by a member of a federally recognized Native American tribe, or any fur product where the activity is expressly authorized by federal law, and chairs recommend that we keep the penalty provisions, defecting the date to July 1, 2050. Basically, we're treating fur products, at least from my perspective, the way we did non-reef safe sunscreen additives. The ban does not include leather or fur products from any livestock animals currently farmed in Hawaii or imported into Hawaii for purposes of improving current livestock herds, sheep, cattle, pigs, goats, other livestock, or deer, which have been a part of Hawaii's landscape for a very long time. Although some of the testifiers had concerns that it would be difficult to educate members of the retail community, I have every faith that the retail merchants can educate their members on what is acceptable under this measure and what is not. DCCA, Department of Ag, and the AG's office need to work together to prepare a guide about the new law for retail merchants and their suppliers. The guide must be available prior to fur products being off the shelves December 1, the law to be effective July 1, 2021. Members, are there any questions, concerns, or comments?
I'll go with reservations, just.
Okay. If not, shall we proceed to the vote? For CPN members, pass Senate Bill 969, Senate Draft 1 with amendments. Chair votes aye.
Senator Chang,
Aye.
Senator Misalucha,
Aye.
Nishar goes aye. Senator Revere,
Reservations.
Senator San Ventura,
Aye.
Senator Favela,
Aye.
motion is adopted.
Thank you.
Before we vote, JDC members, maybe Chair Baker and Chair Gabbard have already discussed this, spoken, but are you, since it's coming out of AEN, are you okay with these changes, Senator Gabbard?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. Just double checking. Members, same recommendation with amendments, questions or concerns? If not, Senator Cololi.
I'm looking for Senator, well, okay, Chair Rhodes.
She's back.
Oh, okay, noting the presence of all members, are there any noes or reservations? Seeing none, Chair, recommendation adopted.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. I believe that concludes the 9:15 agenda.
Yeah.
And we have a 9:16 agenda.
We'll move on to that. That one is that's a JDC/CPN agenda.
Okay.
And the one bill on it is SB 345 relating to cosmetics, bans manufacturers from importing for profit, selling, and offering for sale in cosmetic in the state of the final product or any component of the final product was developed or manufactured using animal testing performed on or after 1/1/2022. Recommendation here is accept Office of Information Practices amendment to clarify cosmetic manufacturer's disclosure of information to the prosecuting attorney in subsection, accept OIP's amendment to clarify that any information disclosed shall be treated as confidential and only disclosed for law enforcement purposes in subsection F, and combine the two subsections that make various exemptions to the prohibitions on cosmetic manufacturers. Technical amendments and a delayed effective date of May 6, 2037. Is that okay with you, Senator Baker?
Yes, it is.
Okay, in that case, some members on the JDC side, any questions or concerns? If not, Vice Chair.
Members voting on SB 345 SD1, Chair's recommendation is passed with amendments. Noting the presence of all members of the committee, are there any reservations? Any opposition? Seeing none, Chair, all members vote aye. Recommendation adopted.
Thank you, Chair Baker.
Same recommendation to CPN members to pass this measure with amendments. Chair votes aye.
Senator Chang,
Aye.
Senator Misalucha,
Aye.
Nishar goes aye. Senator Revere,
Aye.
Senator San Ventura,
Aye.
Senator Favela,
Aye.
motion is adopted.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you. I believe the joint CPN-JDC committees are adjourned.
Thank you very much, JDC members. We're switching over to
Good morning, everyone. We'll call to order the Committee on Commerce and Consumer Protection. On Zoom this morning, we have our Vice Chair, Senator Chang. We have Senator Bennett Misalucha. We have Senator Kurt Favela. And here in the conference room, Senator Clarence Nishihara, Senator Joy San-Buenaventura, and Senator Gil Riviere. And I am fortunate to be able to chair this committee, Senator Baker. We have a number of items on our 9:30 agenda, so members, I tried to send out to everyone the recommendations. So with your permission, we will move forward on this agenda. Let's see. The first item is Senate Bill 255, Senate Draft 1, relating to commercial marine licenses. This measure came to us from the Committee on Water Land. It authorizes the Department of Land and Natural Resources to establish rules and fees for the issuance of a commercial marine vessel license, provides that a single valid commercial marine vessel license satisfies the license requirement for all persons aboard the licensed vessel, requires any person who provides fishing charter services to obtain a commercial marine license, and allows marine charter fishing vessels to obtain commercial marine vessel licenses. The recommendation is to pass this measure with amendments. We want to request a report from DLNR 30 days before the beginning of the 2022 legislative session on the status of the new rules that DLNR plans to promulgate. DLNR intends to amend its CML rules to establish a new commercial marine vessel license, which will cover everyone on board under one license and eliminate the need for individual licenses. This is an effort, I think, to streamline both their activities as well as make it easier on their constituents. So the recommendation that we are describing, there's no house companion, so this will be it. So the chair recommends we pass Senate Bill 255, Senate Draft 1, with the amendments I just read. And is there any discussion, any concerns? If not, members, chair votes aye.
Senator Chang,
Aye.
Senator Misalucha,
Aye.
Nishar goes aye, Senator Revere,
Aye.
Senator San Ventura,
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Motion is adopted.
Okay, the next measure is relating to the practice of behavioral analysts. It's Senate Bill 805, Senate Draft 1. And the chair recommends that, well, let me tell you what it is. It makes the exemption from the behavioral analyst licensing requirement permanent for certain teachers working in collaboration with a licensed behavioral analyst or a licensed psychologist, clarifies exemptions from licensure as a behavioral analyst for general education teachers, direct support workers, special ed teachers, and teacher trainees working in collaboration with or under the supervision of licensed professionals. This came to us from Education, Chair Kidani's bill. There were some technical, non-substantive amendments identified with SMA, and the chair recommends that we pass this measure with those tech amendments. Any comments, questions, concerns? If not, Senate Bill 805, Senate Draft 1, chair votes aye.
Senator Chang,
Aye.
Senator Misalucha,
Aye.
Nishar goes aye, Senator Revere,
Aye.
Senator San Ventura,
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Motion is adopted.
Okay. Senate Bill 611, Senate Draft 1, makes behavioral analysts permanent for the makes permanent the regulation of behavioral analysts effective 6/29/2021, so it doesn't lapse. This came to us from the Health Committee, and I think everybody was supportive. It's been a good law. So the recommendation is to pass unamended. Any questions or comments from members? If not, chair votes aye.
Senator Chang,
Aye.
Senator Misalucha,
Aye.
Nishar goes aye, Senator Revere,
Aye.
Senator San Ventura,
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Motion is adopted.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is Senate Bill 324. This is relating to the practice of medicine. came to us from the Health Committee. The chair of that committee is the author. Clarifies the definition of the practice of medicine to provide uniformity of practice for both medical physicians and osteopathic physicians. Should have done this a long time ago. Thank you, Senator Keokalole, for doing this. The recommendation is to pass unamended. Any questions or comments, concerns from members? If not, chair votes aye.
Okay, Senator Chang,
Aye.
Senator Misalucha,
Aye.
Nishar goes aye, Senator Revere,
Aye.
Senator San Ventura,
Aye.
Senator Favela,
Aye.
motion is adopted.
Thank you, members. The next item on our agenda is Senate Bill 599, Senate Draft 1, relating to massage therapists. Beginning July 1, 2024, requires massage therapy licensees to complete 12 hours of continuing education within the 2-year period preceding the renewal date, 2 hours of which shall include first aid, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, or emergency-related courses. This measure came to us from the Health Committee, and there was all supportive testimony. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any questions, comments, or concerns, members? If not, chair votes aye.
Senator Chang,
Aye.
Senator Misalucha,
Aye.
Nishar goes aye, Senator Revere,
Aye.
Senator San Ventura,
Aye.
Senator Favela,
Aye.
motion is adopted.
Thank you, members. The next item on our agenda is Senate Bill 1258, Senate Draft 1, relating to telehealth. This allows for standard telephone contact for telehealth purposes, and it has a defective date to continue the conversation on this matter. This came to us from the Health Committee. Senator Shimabukuro is the author of this measure. The recommendation is to pass this measure unamended. Any questions or comments? If not, chair votes aye.
Senator Chang,
Aye.
Senator Misalucha,
Aye.
Nishar goes aye, Senator Revere,
Aye.
Senator San Ventura,
Aye.
Senator Favela,
Aye.
motion is adopted.
Thank you. I suppose I should have noted the reason that we needed to do this is in times like we have now with the pandemic, not everybody has a smartphone, a computer, or other kind of device to stay in touch with people, and by allowing telehealth to be done through standard telephone contacts is certainly going to reach out to community members that we might not otherwise have reached. The next item on our agenda is Senate Bill 1150, Senate Draft 1, relating to skilled nursing facility licensing. This is a governor's package bill and came to us from the Health Committee. It authorized the Department of Health to recognize national accreditation or certification organizations. And Health amended the measure to reflect that use of an outside accreditation or certification program is voluntary, as recommended by the Healthcare Association of Hawaii. The companion in the House has not been heard. Perhaps ours will be successful to fix this matter. The recommendation is to pass this measure unamended. Any questions or concerns? If not, chair votes aye.
Oh, thank you. Senator Chang. Senator Misalucha,
Aye.
Nishar goes aye, Senator Revere,
Aye.
Senator San Ventura,
Aye.
Senator Favela. Senator Favela,
Aye.
thank you. Motion's adopted.
Thank you.
1258. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. We're ready to proceed to the next item on our agenda, Senate Bill 1191, Senate Draft 1. This is relating to electronic prescription accountability system. This measure is part of the governor's package, would update Chapter 329 Hawaii Revised Statutes to clarify who may access information stored in the electronic prescription accountability system. And this measure came to us from the Health Committee, all supportive testimony. Chair recommends we pass this measure unamended. Chair, any questions or concerns? If not, chair votes aye.
Okay, thank
Senate
you.
Bill 1191, pass unamended.
1191. Okay. Unamended, Senator Baker is aye. Senator Chang? Senator Chang?
He said aye.
He said aye?
Yeah.
Okay. The chair goes aye. Senator Revere?
Aye.
Senator San Ventura?
Aye.
Senator Favela?
I think you may have missed Senator Missile.
Senator, yeah, you might have missed me.
Oh, I thought I called your name, but anyway, Senator Mr. Lucha.
Yeah, it's an aye.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Aloha.
Thank you. All ayes, measures adopted, right?
Right,
Senator Nishihara?
adopted.
Thank you.
Right.
Let's move on to Senate Bill 1192. This is relating to the electronic prescription accountability system. This measure is also part of the governor's package, came to us from the Committee on Health. Amend Section 329-101B and D, Hawaii Revised Statutes to require that the dispensing of a pharmacist-prescribed opioid antagonist.
Okay.
This is the drug that if there's an overdose, you can take this and it reverses the effects of the overdose. Be reported to the state's electronic prescription accountability system. So we're adding a new product being dispensed by pharmacists to the electronic prescription accountability system. The recommendation, as I said, this came to us from the Committee on Health. Recommendation is to pass unamended. There was all supportive testimony. Any questions or concerns? If not, chair votes aye.
Senator Chang?
Aye.
Senator Mr. Lucha?
Aye.
Nishar goes aye. Senator Revere?
Aye.
Senator San Ventura?
Aye.
Senator Favela?
Aye.
Motion is adopted.
Thank you, members. The next item on our agenda this morning is Senate Bill 615, Senate Draft 1, relating to rental of mopeds and motor scooters. Requires all moped and motor scooter rental companies to ensure the rider wears a safety helmet supplied either by the rental company or by the renter prior to operating the moped or motor scooter. Exempts riders with a motorcycle license from this requirement. Prohibits the rental of any moped or motor scooter with aftermarket modifications. Amends the definition of motor scooter. I will disclose that this came as a result of a tragic accident of daughter of a constituent while the daughter was visiting them in my district. The recommendation is that we pass this measure unamended. There was lots of support for it, and no one registered their opposition. Any questions or comments from members? If not, the recommendation is to pass this measure unamended. Chair votes aye.
Senator Chang?
Aye.
Senator Mr. Lucha?
Aye.
Nishar goes aye. Senator Revere?
Aye.
Senator San Ventura?
Aye.
Senator Favela?
Reservations.
Okay, motion's adopted.
The next item, thank you, members. The next item on our agenda is Senate Bill 650, Senate Draft 1. This is relating to tow truck pricing. It will clarify fees charged in association with towing services. The prior committee, which is TRS, found that these fees are determined by the legislature and encourages CPN to consider what fees may be appropriate. TRS amended this measure by inserting blank fee amounts for further discussion. The companion bill was deferred in the House. I think this measure needs to rest as well, so the recommendation is to defer this measure indefinitely. Any questions or concerns? If not, let's go forward to
Yeah,
the,
Chair, can I just make one comment? I know you're gonna defer it, but, you know, in the towing pricing, since, late nineties, there has not been a pricing change since then. That's the reason why this bill will keep coming up every session, because the towing companies, even though we have opposition, because of this, because of the virus and people's dying, but it's not fair to the towing companies that is not having an ability to charge more for decades. So maybe next year, I guess we can take this more into consideration. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
okay, I just note that DCCA, in their testimony, said that they don't see any basis for increasing towing fees currently. No evidence exists that existing marketplace conditions support imposing higher towing fees on consumer, and no one has come forward to suggest that current rates have resulted in a decrease in towing services. So that was one of the reasons that Chair made that note. But Senator Favela, I appreciate your thoughts on this, and it's something next year we can certainly take another look at. So thank you so very much. Let's see. Our next item is Senate Bill 766 relating to motor carrier penalties. This also came to us from Transportation. It allows a penalty of up to $5,000 for the fourth or subsequent violations of the motor carrier law within 1 calendar year. This will strengthen the PUC's ability to punish those unlicensed and unregulated motor carriers that transport tourists around the state, repeatedly breaking the rules. The companion bill has not been heard in the House, but maybe coming over from the Senate, it will give them some impetus to take another look at this measure. The chair recommends, based on the testimony from the PUC, that we pass this measure unamended, Senate Bill 766. Any questions, comments, or concerns? If not, chair votes aye.
Senator Chang,
Aye.
Senator Misalucha,
Aye.
Nishar goes aye. Senator Revere,
Aye.
Senator San Ventura,
Aye.
Senator Favela,
Aye.
motion is adopted.
The next measure on our agenda this morning is Senate Bill 1008, Senate Draft 1, relating to autonomous transportation. This is another measure that the Chair of Transportation forwarded to us. It establishes the Permanent Autonomous Transportation Task Force to be placed in the Department of Transportation. Chair recommends that we pass this with technical amendments and allow the DOT director to appoint a designee to sit on the task force, add a representative from Ulupono Initiative. There had been one of the recommendations that we needed an environmental type person to be in there, and Ulupono, the Blue Initiative were also recommended, and since I know the work of Ulupono, I've picked that one to add to the task force. We'll note in the committee report that the task force created by this measure would benefit from consultation with stakeholders, the Alliance for Automobile Innovation, by adding a new subsection, A5, to include consultation with stakeholders relating to autonomous vehicle implementation and review the work of the state's 2-year autonomous vehicle legal preparation task force that was convened by the Attorney General pursuant to HCR 220 in 2019, and is available to assist the state and the legislature to provide input as the task force continues to explore autonomous vehicle integration. And will add a representative from the power sports industry to the task force to try to make sure that all elements of that, people that would use them are involved in transportation, have a seat at the table. Any questions, comments, or concerns? If not, Chair recommends that we pass with technical amendments and the other amendments that I outlined. Any questions or concerns? If not, Chair votes aye.
Senator Chang. Senator Chang.
Aye.
Senator Misalucha,
Aye.
Nishar goes aye. Senator Revere.
Aye.
Senator San Ventura.
Aye.
Senator Vela. Senator Vela.
Senator Favela, you're muted. Did you want to vote on this measure?
Sorry, you guys can hear me?
Yeah, now
Yeah.
can.
Did you vote?
Yes.
How are you voting?
Aye.
Thank you.
Technology is wonderful till sometimes it gives us trouble. But thank you for joining us, and we're close to the end of this agenda, and then we have one more to follow. The next item on our agenda is Senate Bill 32 relating to infrastructure. This was introduced by our vice chair, and it went to AEN/transportation and then on to consumer protection. Requires public water or sewer utilities to consider the disruption to transportation as a criterion in planning future maintenance. Chair recommends we pass this measure with amendments to include DCCA's suggestion that the bill target agencies with roadwork permit oversight to improve coordination and minimize disruption in traffic and transportation. We'll add a defective date of 7/1/2050 to encourage some additional conversation. Any questions, comments, or concerns? If not, Senate Bill 32 passed with amendments. Chair votes aye.
Senator Chang.
Aye.
Senator Misalucha.
Aye.
Nishar goes aye. Senator Revere.
Aye.
Senator San Ventura.
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Motion is adopted.
Thank you, members. For Senate Bill 495, Senate Draft 1, this measure recommendation is going to defer it indefinitely. It relates to updating agricultural laws on cooperatives and consumer cooperatives, including operation as resale agents and conversions. There's a title problem. There's items in the measure that deal with other kinds of cooperatives, not just agriculture ones. So in speaking with the Legal Eagles down in SMA, they recommended that this measure couldn't go forward. So we'll be deferring 495 Senate Draft 1. Next item. Senate Bill 186 relating to restrictions on agriculture uses and activities. This also came to us from AEN. It is by request, but not a part of the governor's package. This allows the enforcement of a re-recorded homeowner association restriction if the restriction prohibits bona fide agriculture uses and activities on ag land. Testimony in support from Department of Ag, Office of Planning, and some businesses on Kauai, as well as the Hawaii Farm Bureau. Chair recommends that we pass this measure unamended. Any questions, comments, concerns? If not, Senate Bill 186 passed unamended. Chair votes aye.
Senator Chang.
Aye.
Senator Misalucha.
Aye.
Nishar goes aye. Senator Revere.
Aye.
Senator San Ventura.
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion is adopted.
Okay, thank you very much. The last item on this agenda, Allison, is this our very last bill, or we have another agenda?
We have one more agenda for bills that we deferred yesterday.
Okay, very good. All right. The last item on this agenda is Senate Bill 348. This is relating to bottled water. Repeals the requirement that non-carbonated bottled water be transported, stored, processed, or bottled through lines or equipment through which only water is passed. Updates the requirement that all bottled water shall meet standards prescribed by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration rules regarding product quality standards for bottled water. This came to us from AEN, Senator Gabbard's bill. Chair recommends that we pass this measure unamended. Any questions or comments? If not, chair votes aye.
Senator Chang,
Aye.
Senator Misalucha,
Aye.
Nishar goes aye. Senator Revere,
Aye.
Senator San Ventura,
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion's adopted.
Okay. Is this, have we done this one? Okay, so we're going to adjourn that hearing and go to our 9:35 hearing, a little late, but we will nevertheless do some decision-making on measures that we have heard previously. The first item on this agenda is Senate Bill 602 relating to pharmacy benefit managers. This prohibits certain contracts for managed care entered into after June 30, 2021 from containing provisions that authorizes a pharmacy benefit manager to reimburse a contracting pharmacy on a maximum allowable cost basis and voids any such provisions in existing managed care contracts, prohibits PBMs from engaging in unfair methods of competition or unfair practices, prohibits a PBM from reimbursing a 340B pharmacy differently than other network pharmacies, prohibits a pharmacy benefit manager from reimbursing an independent or rural pharmacy in an amount less than the rural rate for each drug under certain circumstances, prohibits a pharmacy benefit manager from prohibiting a pharmacist to provide certain information to the insureds, increases PBM annual reporting requirements, requires the insurance commissioner to file an annual report with the legislature, increases pharmacy benefit manager registrations and renewal fees by an unspecified amount, makes certain violations of PBMs subject to the penalties provided in Chapter 480 and 481 Hawai'i revised statutes, and it has an effective date of 7/1/2050 for further consideration. I cannot tell you how many bills we've had over the last number of years dealing with PBMs, and I'm hoping we can finally get them into good order so they're not making unfair decisions for the people that they are trying to serve. Any questions or comments? The recommendation is to pass this measure with amendments. Technical amendments recommended by SMA, clarifying amendment noted on page 6, line 4. Take the amendments offered by DCCA and Kaiser Permanente and keep the defective date as this measure remains a work in progress. Any questions, comments, or concerns? If not, chair votes aye.
Senator Chang,
Aye.
Senator Misalucha,
Aye.
Nishar goes aye. Senator Revere,
Aye.
Senator San Ventura,
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Motion's adopted.
Thank you, members. The next item on this agenda is Senate Bill 827, Senate Draft 1, relating to breast cancer screening. I will just note for the members that this is a Women's Legislative Caucus package. It came to us from the Committee on Health. Increases the categories of women required to be covered for mammogram screenings, replaces the existing health insurance mandate for coverage of low-dose mammography to include digital mammography and breast tomosynthesis, defines digital breast tomosynthesis. I will just tell you that this is very helpful for women who have very large breasts. Require healthcare providers to be reimbursed at rates accurately reflecting the resource costs specific to each service, including any increased resource costs after January 1, 2021. And it has a defective date for further consideration. Chair recommends that we pass this measure with amendments to take the language suggested by the Hawai'i Radiological Society. Note in the committee that this is not a new mandate, but clarifies that Hawaii adheres to the best practices for detecting a disease that is curable if detected early, and for which Native Hawaiian women and women of Asian ancestry may be the most at risk and at an earlier age. These populations aren't likely to be sufficiently reflected in the USPSTF guidelines, which is currently the standard everybody uses. Chair would note to the Association of Health Plans, it is more cost-effective and ethical to screen for breast cancer so that cancer can be detected early when it is more readily and effectively treated, as well as it is less costly, those treatments to the plans, than surgery and other kinds of rehab afterward. We amend the bill so that those at higher risk of early cancer based on Hawai'i SEER data are those populations targeted for inclusion in this measure. We recommend that for women age 30 or older, but not at least 50, a formal risk factor screening be made before a prescriber recommends a screening mammogram. Note Hawai'i SEER data noted in HMA's testimony. Notwithstanding any other law to the contrary, this measure should go forward to ensure that those at early risk of breast cancer are allowed to be screened when this measure is enacted, and includes the chapter, we want to include the chapter 432D entities. That would pull in Kaiser Permanente and folks that are organized under that chapter in our HRS. Any questions, concerns, comments?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you adding in the DCCA proposed amendment about the auditor?
No.
Okay.
Any other questions or concerns? We don't need the auditor. There's so much other outside evidence that I just felt like that was redundant. So the recommendation is to pass Senate Bill 827, Senate Draft 1 with amendments. Any questions, comments, concerns? If not, chair votes aye.
Senator Chang,
Aye.
Senator Misalucha,
Aye.
the chair goes aye. Senator Revere,
Aye.
Senator San Ventura,
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Motion's adopted.
Now, does that bring us to the end of our agenda? Two more. Okay.
Oh, you're.
Let's see.
1340.
Let me try to find them.
EMS.
I should have had these all pulled up and ready to go. I apologize. Just those two, health and helicopters. Okay, all right. Okay.
What happened to this one?
Oh, I think we did a second one of it. So
What?
we created 2 copies of it.
There's an extra. Okay.
Okay. Let's see, members, we have 2 items still remaining for decision-making. The first of these is 1340, Senate Draft 1, relating to emergency medical services. This enables the Hawaii Medical Board to certify emergency medical responders other than emergency ambulance service personnel. Chair worked with Dr. Bronstein over at the Department of Health's Emergency Medical Services and Injury System Prevention Branch to come up with amendments that we believe are needed, really get to what the bill was trying to accomplish. And what it will do, it will create 4 tiers of emergency medical service professionals in the proposed SD2 that we just passed out for you. This proposed SD2 aligns Hawaii with the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration and the National Registry of EMT's National Scope of Practice model that came out in 2019. We've been moving in this direction, and the licensure of EMRs, or emergency medical responders, is a significant move forward. These folks are at a lower level than the paramedics and the EMTs, but they are very necessary, and they can do a very valuable service in an emergency situation, and so the licensure of EMRs is a significant move forward, we believe, in this arena. It licenses our fire and ocean safety first responders as part of the EMS system, licensure as opposed to certification, and this is what these folks have been wanting because it includes positive recognition for what they currently do as a part of the emergency medical system. We think this really addresses something that's been needed to be accomplished, and appreciate Senator Dela Cruz for giving us this vehicle. Also, the amendments will mitigate all the unintended consequences associated with the deregulation of Hawaii's EMS system. It will prevent the lowering of standards of care required on all ambulances because all EMTs are not trained equally. It will mitigate staff shortages which currently exist, and it will take care of the lack of regulation and oversight of EMTs and first responders outside of our EMS system. We're afraid if we don't do this, then the industry is going to be opened up to unlicensed providers. Health found that this measure needed further discussion and inserted a defective effective date of July 1, 2050. We believe that the SD2 proposed addresses much of health concern, the testimony that you see is for the original SD1, which a lot of people opposed, AMR, and a lot of concerns from the Hawaii Medical Board. That's the reason we put this SD2 together, because we wanted to address those concerns. So with your permission, Chair would like to, for the committee to pass forward the amendment proposed in the SD2 to 1340 that outline, that I just outlined the contents of, sorry, that convoluted sentence. Any questions or concerns from members?
Are you gonna put a defect date?
It should have,
It is defective.
it is defective.
Okay.
The proposed SC2, yes, effective 7/1/2050.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions, comments, or concerns? If not, recommendation is to pass Senate Bill 1340 with amendments. Chair votes aye.
Senator Chang,
Aye.
Senator Misalucha,
Aye.
Ishar goes aye. Senator Revere,
Aye.
Senator San Ventura,
Aye.
Senator Favela, Senator Favela,
Aye.
thank you. Motion's adopted.
Thank you, members. The last item, I believe, on our agenda is Senate Bill 1403, Senate Draft 1, relating to helicopters. This came from Transportation, requires commercial helicopter owners and operators to retain and make available records containing basic helicopter flight information and report that information to the Department of Transportation. In talking with the DOT, they support the intent of the bill, but they can't just single out helicopter operations to force this one entity to provide flight information, as it is a violation of grants that they receive for federal money, Federal Grant Assurance number 22. They would really need to include the fixed wing that can be buzzing houses and creating as much noise in some instances as helicopters. Unfortunately, the title of this measure is too restrictive. It is relating to helicopters and cannot accommodate or include the discussion that needs to happen regarding fixed wing general aviation aircraft. And that would, if we had them both in there, then we could move this measure forward and the feds would not be coming down on us. So unfortunately, members, I'm going to have to defer this measure, and hopefully there will be something with a better title coming over from the House, and we can work on this measure later this year. If not, we'll take it up again next session with a better title. So that does bring us, I think, to the end of our agenda. Thank you, members, for your participation, your votes, and hope everyone has a wonderful rest of the day
Deferred one.
and midweek Wednesday. Do we have anything coming up later this week? I think we're done. Are we done?
That's it for the week.
Okay.
Oh, terrific.
Yay, we're done for the week. Thank you all. Thank you guys on Zoom over there for joining us. Senator Favela, Senator Chang, Senator Misalucha. We are adjourned.
Okay.